What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Now, ladies and gentlemen, boy oh boy, every single day that goes by, Activision has been doing the most insane things I think all of us never expected to see whatsoever. I mean, we have been ignored countless times in the past, requesting these features for ages, and then out of the blue, Battlefield 6 comes on through, fixes everything we have begged for, and now Activision is acting. Now they want to do things that are community friendly. Yeah, let me tell you. But guys, before we dive deep into the details of, how Activision is kind of shivering in their boots, I did want to showcase to you guys some of the new leaked skins that you could see on the weapons. This is from Temporal, and of course, I'll leave a link to this specific tweet down in the description of this video. But boy, oh boy, these are looking phenomenal, ladies and gentlemen. Now, of course, I feel like EA at some point in time will branch out and make things a bit more flashy. I mean, we already see it with the Battlefield 2042 free battle pass, where they have some skins available for Battlefield 6. I think they have a couple of pistol skins and a couple of vehicle skins, and then, of course, 2 operator skins. But the weapon and also vehicle skins are a little flashy. But overall, the vibes that I have been seeing here across the board when it comes to cosmetics are good enough for me. Again, I totally expect EA to try to sell some flashier skins, but as long as they don't take that step towards the Call of Duty route, where I'm running around as animals and comedians and musicians in a battlefield, as long as they don't go that far, I think everything will be a-okay. I really do, and honestly, from the looks of the current skins, I'm kind of happy with what they have to offer. But ladies and gentlemen, enough of that. Of course, go down in the comment section and leave your opinions down below. But let's dive deep into the actual topic of today's video, and that is how Activision has been reacting with Black Ops 7. I've never seen them act this way, ever. Not even with Modern Warfare 3 2023, where, obviously everybody was claiming that game was going to be DLC, and they absolutely stuffed it to the brim with content to make people actually enjoy it. Me personally as well, I thought the gameplay of Modern Warfare 3 was just a better version of Modern Warfare 2 2022 with a bunch of content to go ahead and play, Wasn't too shabby, but I've never seen them take it to this level. Obviously, as you guys already know, they canceled carry forward from all the crazy looking Black Ops 6 skins that you're going to be able to, potentially see in Black Ops 7. No, not anymore. They canceled that. They're no longer carrying forward any of that garbage whatsoever because, again, Battlefield 6 popped off in such a massive way just off of theme and atmosphere itself, even when it came down to the developers discussing the theme of the game. If you guys remember, I made a few videos in the past about this, but the devs want this game to feel, look, and just have everything revolved around it being a grounded military experience. Again, you will have some flashy skins here and there, but nothing to the degree of what Call of Duty has been producing. And that instantly made Activision completely cut off, carry forward into Black Ops 7. And here we are moving forward, and we got some more details on how they're handling things. First and foremost, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see right here, Charlie Intel said, the next update for the Call of Duty app on PS5 and PS4 is going to reduce the base HQ file size by over 100 gigs. Ladies and gentlemen, let me say something real quick. We have been begging for them to stop taking up all of our storage when it comes to the Call of Duty experience. Ever since Modern Warfare 2019, the file sizes have been absurd, and you need to literally designate hundreds of gigabytes worth of storage in order to be able to hold any modern, current gen Call of Duty experience, which is ridiculous. There's absolutely no other game out there that really needs to, take up that much storage. And honestly, if you want to ask my personal opinion, that comes down to developer laziness. They could easily optimize this game and cram it down to make it easier to run and also easier to hold, but they don't. They'd rather take the laziest route, not bother with any of this garbage. And here we are with games that are hundreds of gigs right at launch. And we have been begging them to change this for years, and we've been ignored again and again and again and again. And then out of nowhere, Battlefield 6 comes out and says, you know what? Our game isn't going to be that large. What, it's going to be like 50 to 80 gigs or something like that at launch? Of course, that's minus the Battle Royale experience. But for a base core Battlefield, file, that is absurdly low. Especially, keeping in mind that Battlefield runs much harder than Call of Duty. There's destruction, there's all-out warfare, there's vehicles, there's 60-plus players on every single map that you play. There's so much going on, and you're telling me that they can still condense the size of Battlefield 6 to be way smaller than anything Call of Duty has produced from Modern Warfare 2019 onward. It seems a little fishy that, of course, right when Battlefield 6 does that, Activision now decides it's time to cut the storage size of their overall games. I don't know about you guys, but again, it seems like competition is finally kicking in. And it doesn't just end there, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see right here as well from Charlie Intel. This is the best one, actually, as well, guys, so you'll probably get a chuckle out of this one. Call of Duty will be granting all players 20 free Battle Pass tier skips in Black Ops 6 and Warzone. And they will be granting players 5 1-hour XP tokens in-game for those who log in during the Season 5 Reloaded update as a thank you. Yeah, sure, as a thank you. That's not a thank you whatsoever. That is an apology. That is, we screwed up. We did a lot of stupid stuff. Please come back into the overall experience. Guys, they don't just give away 20 free Battle Pass tier skips. That is unheard of. And through every single Call of Duty release from Modern Warfare 2019 up to current date, each one has been crumbling and talked down upon. And just everybody's been crapping on COD. That usually by this time, they don't care. They're going to sell you the Battle Pass and prep you up for the next game. But right when competition, real big competition as well. You know, obviously, me personally, I always strive to see smaller games pop off and try to make a huge name for themselves in the scene. But when it comes down to actually making Activision bat an eye in your direction, you have to be a true top dog, something like Battlefield. That's already established. Everybody knows what it is, so on and so forth. And although Battlefield still is a different overall experience, it's still competition within the scene. People will be picking where they want to, invest their time, because time nowadays is very scarce. Not everybody has a lot of time on their hands. And these games do require a decent amount of time when it comes to battle passes, camo grind, so on and so forth. So people pick and choose what FPS titles they want to play. So having a behemoth like Battlefield come into the scene and have it perform so well is, dare I say, a threat during this time. And every single time before, as I stated, Call of Duty does not act. They don't care. And you're telling me out of the blue, you're telling me with Black Ops 6, out of nowhere, now they're going to say, oh, you guys deserve 20 free tier skips for sticking around with the game. Where were my free tier skips in Modern Warfare 3 when I stuck around with that game? Where were they with Modern Warfare 2 2022? Cold War? Like, all these games had horrible launches. I mean, Modern Warfare 2 2022 didn't even get bugs fixed at all throughout the whole lifespan of the game. Game-breaking bugs, dare I say. And they didn't even touch upon them. We didn't get any apologetic, tokens thrown our way. But now with Battlefield 6 coming on through here, you're telling me that now's the time? No. This is, again, an apology / trying to get people back into the experience because people aren't playing the game. Even me, myself, I haven't touched COD since Season 4. I haven't even bothered. My whole purpose here is to go ahead and discuss news and information and content drops on all different titles. Battlefield, COD, Splitgate, any game that I enjoy. And Call of Duty is one of them. Every single year I go ahead and discuss these games, whether I like it or not, whether I'm having a good time or a horrible time. It hasn't even been a blip on my radar, ladies and gentlemen. I haven't even thought about loading up the game. It's not even installed on my PC. And if they genuinely think that this is going to pull me back or any other person who is tired of their crap back, then they're definitely in for a treat. And I want to make it very clear, when I'm saying that they're giving out these free tokens means that, the players are down. I'm not saying the game is dead. I'm not saying Black Ops 6 has no players whatsoever. I guarantee on PlayStation and Xbox, there's probably plenty of people who are still playing Call of Duty Black Ops 6. Let's just be real here. But it is enough of a drop that Activision is actually reacting. You see, for these big companies, it doesn't have to be a deadly drop. They don't have to go to 0 to start reacting. No, usually it takes a little something, but still, there is a point where you will budge Activision a little bit, and they will start taking things a bit more serious. And I think we have finally reached that point. I think they genuinely feel like there might be some real competition within the FPS scene, and people out there, especially casuals, not the hardcore audience, because if it was just a hardcore audience, us yapping here on YouTube all the time, and streamers and all that stuff, if it was just us and all of you guys down in the comments section, this wouldn't get addressed. The only way this would get addressed is if the mass majority of people out there who don't give a crap about any of the social media stuff, the people who just pick up a game because they want to pick up a game, if they are reacting, then that is the time. And I think they are. Battlefield 6 gave a lot of people that casual experience that they have been craving for a long time with extremely solid gunplay. Vince Zampella did a phenomenal job with this game. And people see that. And I think people are tired of COD. They're tired of the yearly crap that's shoved down everybody's throat instead of actually giving devs time to cook up a real Call of Duty experience. It's just being milked too hard. But again, there's no other alternatives. People like me, yes, I'll play smaller games, but I'm not everybody out there. A lot of people will not. They want a premium product, and they finally have one that's true competition. People are going to say, well, think back to Battlefield 1 when it was going against, Infinite Warfare and Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare Remastered. Yeah, you got a good point, and yeah, Battlefield 1 lost to Call of Duty, but Battlefield 1 was also a World War I shooter. How many people are actually going to want to play that? Seriously, I'm being serious. How many people are going to want to play that besides the more hardcore audience? Yes, it's known as one of the best Battlefield experiences to many people out there, but at the end of the day, it was a World War I game with a bunch of World War I weapons. Very few automatics, and the automatics you had were like LMGs and, the SMGs. It was a different vibe. And I know people are going to defend it, including myself, because I love Battlefield 1. I love the World War I vibes. I think it's a masterpiece. The fact that DICE could find a way to make a World War I shooter actually play like an arcade shooter while still maintaining the vibes and the World War I atmosphere was just absurd. Like, seriously, it's a masterpiece. But for the massive group of people out there, from what I can witness, people connect easier with modern day games. They have fully auto weapons. They have more modern day technology. People just like that stuff. It's just as simple as that. And Battlefield 6 is exactly that. And they're striking again. And I think that they're going to strike in a much better way than they did back in Battlefield 1. But at the end of the day, I'm not trying to say that Black Ops 7 is going to be complete garbage, and I'm not saying it's going to die. All I'm saying is that this is good competition, and competition should be welcomed by everybody in the community. People need to stop fighting it. There's so many people on both sides who want to pretend there's nothing out there that can actually make good change, and they only want their game to be relevant. But seriously, having variety and more options only allows for your favorite experience to thrive and grow and actually make meaningful innovation instead of just becoming stale, stagnant, boring, and, having a lack of love and passion from the overall development team. That's the only freaking way. Doesn't matter what game it is. I mean, again, look at Battlefield. We would not be here if it weren't for competition with other franchises and Battlefield going down into the dumps. And look how, happy the community is right now. This is a good thing, ladies and gentlemen, and it's great to see that Activision is shaking a little bit. I'm not saying we're going to see any massive, meaningful changes like a reduction in skill-based matchmaking, disbanding lobbies, better servers, a better anti-cheat. I'm not saying any of that stuff is going to improve yet, but it does seem that they are budging a bit more than they were back in the day. But, ladies and gentlemen, as always, if you enjoyed today's video, leave a like. If you hate it, leave a dislike. Don't forget subscribing at that bell. I post here daily at 8 in the morning Eastern Time. And we also double upload at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Everything between COD, Battlefield, Splitgate 2, Arc Raiders, Gears of War, pretty much any first-person or even third-person shooter that sparks my interest, I'd love to go ahead and discuss on this channel. So, as I stated before, subscribing at that bell. And last but not least, I do stream Monday through Saturday over on Twitch, starting at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. If you guys are interested, I got a link to that channel down in the description of this video. As always, thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.